Bare Feet has been brought to you in part by
Dance Network, a streaming service devoted entirely to the art of dance from around the world. Available anytime at dancenetwork.tv and on your phone, tablet, and streaming devices. Dance Network is a proud sponsor of Bare Feet.
Traditional,
Mama,
because that is a cloud.
No, that.
Oh, it's a microphone. and they make it soft, but they put the fuzzy wuzzy around it and it makes it soft.
I'm a dancer, and I'm a traveler. And wherever I go, I experience the world one dance at a time. I'm Mickela Mallozzi, and this is Bare Feet. Welcome to Lumberton, North Carolina, a quaint little town about an hour away from some of the best-known beaches on the U.S. East Coast. This nugget of small-town America holds a history that runs back from the founding of this country. But the history that preceded this story and that still remains alive is the real reason why I'm here. Behind me is the Lumber River here in Lumberton, North Carolina, and it gets its name from the lumber that used to be transported down this river. Now, what was the main product that was here in Lumberton?
We were known as a milling town. And then as years progressed, we became a tobacco industry type of city. But back then, it was lumber.
Hence the name Lumberton. The Lumbee, the Native American tribe indigenous to this region, holds one of the largest pan-Indian powwows in the nation. And as a not fully federally recognized tribe, I am here to not only find out the Lumbee's story, but to also celebrate the Native American culture with its own people.
You know, Lumbee was not a tribal name.
Right.
It was a name we got from the river. Back in 1887, we received a name called Croatan Indians of Robeson County. And that name came about because of the lost colony theory. There's a theory that we are descendants from a lost colony that was left over from John White and Virginia Dare, being the first white child born in the New World. But as you see, we are a mixture of different tribes. And our people had contact with the Europeans so early that we have lost our language. We took on the white ways, but we have always kept our Indian identity. That's one thing our ancestors always stressed. You know, you are Native American. You keep that no matter what happens. There was a time in the United States when it was not popular to be Native American. But today, we get to come together and celebrate being Native American.
I'm here with April Locklear and her son, Leitner. You are one of the dancers. We saw you dancing earlier. You're also a former Miss Indian World. This beautiful woman here. And I just can't help but notice the amazing intricacy on your regalia, the piece that you're wearing right now. So explain a little bit about this.
This is actually a northern women's regalia. It's fully beaded with accessories. And the piece was actually put together just random. I'm not so much into patterns or something always fitting. So it's based off of a lot of different experiences. I've got floral work from an art piece I saw in Germany, of course the dove and the Sacred Heart. I don't have a denomination. This actually came from a tattoo parlor. And the blue, I've always been a fan of blues and greens, birds and fish. So I actually have fish on my leggings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, in Native American culture now, it seems like there's a lot of travel within the tribes to share the culture, to educate everybody and keep the culture alive.
A lot of our communities are doing what we call our capacity building. You know, we have a lot of different issues, positive issues as well as negative issues. And so when we travel, we're powwowing, but we're also networking with each other and taking care of each other's families and communities.
Wonderful. I've never been to a powwow. This is my very first powwow. So it's such a new experience for me, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And to see the northern and southern styles of drumming, it's very distinct.
And that's what I tell the kids. They say, what's the difference? And I try and keep things easy. I said, well, your southern's like Barry White, and your northern's kind of like Aerosmith.
I love it.
I just make fun, but
And then they're like, yes, I can hear it. Yeah. This is Billy Hunt, and Billy is here. You're going to talk to me about the drumming here at the Lumbee powwow. We've heard today so far Southern style and Northern style.
Northern is more of a higher pitch, has more of a attitude, some say, in the songs. The Southern's more lower pitch and more strong and more melodic and flowing. It's not only a time to get like a spiritual feel, but it's a good time for a reunion, seeing friends and family you haven't seen in forever. It's a good way to keep kids off the streets. It's a good way to, hand down different teachings and everything else.
The powwow itself is built upon a series of concentric circles. So you have the drum in the middle, and you have the men sitting around the drum, and then you have the women behind. And we're there just to provide support. We don't sit at the drum. The drum is very healing for me. It doesn't matter what's going on in my personal life, what's going on in my professional life. I can turn on a CD if I'm not at the powwow, or I can call, my drum brothers, and I can say, hey, let's sing this song over the phone. And all of a sudden, it's just everything's lifted off. Yeah. So when I come to the powwow, it's like a mini vacation.
I picked you there were a few girls, and I heard you singing yesterday as well. I mean, your voice is extremely powerful.
Thank you.
And not just powerful loud, but powerful with emotion and powerful with this energy in it that you can feel and not just hear.
Those moments when you're singing or when you're dancing, it's just so freeing, and it's the best therapy.
We always talk about that a drum has its own spirit, has its own life to it, and that's the reason why we call it Grandpa. And like I said, a lot of guys and women, they do a lot of stuff for him. I'm trying to get a little emotional about it.
Yeah.
A drum, it gives a lot of people family. And it's just one thing that I've always tried to pass that on, because I've had a lot of hard times, and this drum just really hit me out.
Reggie Brew is a member of the Lumbee tribe here in Lumberton, North Carolina, and he is an integral part of this community. Every child, every kid that we've spoken with and danced with, you're the first name that comes up. It's because of Reggie's culture class that I'm dancing. It's because of the culture class that I'm here.
To be able to get them out there and to do this class, we're making an impact. It's a small one at the moment, but once we get our new children dressed out and get them fully involved, I think that they're going to do more work than I ever have done. At one time, it was against the law for us to hold ceremonies, any kind of ceremonies, the Sundance, socials that we would have because of the spiritual context of it. And I think it made other people that were not Indian people afraid, but you couldn't. It didn't work. The Indian is always going to be there.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
After seeing the importance of cultural education in the community for the kids, I head to our country's first American Indian school for higher education, the University of North Carolina at Pembroke.
The school started in 1887. A guy by the name of Hamilton Macmillan fell in love with the people here and their struggle to be educated. And he helped write a bill to get a school established. And it started out as a teacher training school to train our people to become teachers to teach the youth. And eventually, luckily, our people have always seen that education was very important. Our people are becoming educated, and that's a great thing. But because of time and because of our history, a lot of our culture was lost, not spoken about. And as Indigenous people, if you lose your oral history, you lose so much.
This is Michelle Fazio. She is the assistant professor of English here at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. We are going to talk about a film that you worked on called The Voices of the Lumbee.
Voices of the Lumbee is about an hour-long documentary that looks at the regional history of the Lumbee tribe and the economic history of the region in Robeson County. It's the largest county in North Carolina, but also the poorest. And we really wanted to look at the negative media representations of the county to understand why so much job loss occurred here and its impact on the community. So the film really explores a very long history, the last 25 years really, of economic growth and decline and how it's shaped, generations. So it really tried to gather the work histories of Lumbee elders and just make it part of a longer narrative of American labor history.
So going back to the students that were impacted by creating this film, we know of a particular case. Her name is Alexis Locklear, and it sounds like she was very moved by this whole process.
She was moved. It was really tremendous to watch her grow over the past year and a half that she was involved. I mean, she's from the community. She's been active. She's now currently Miss Lumbee. And she used part of the film, her experience working on the film, as her platform to talk about the education that she's received about her culture.
I didn't know, as a youth in our community, how economically we were challenged, and what our elders went through. It actually changed my whole outlook on my tribe. I very, very proud in general, but even increased my pride because I know what they came from.
Mother started teaching me when I was just a child. The elder women from the tribe was together at my mother's house, and they'd be quilting. And I'd crawl under the quilting materials and pretend it was a tent. I was about 4 or 5 years old. Didn't know what I was learning. So years later, and it all started coming back. I started knowing there was a reason for that. There's a reason these elder ladies taught the children, so it wouldn't be lost. So much of our culture was lost over the years. Our people sacrificed our culture in order to survive. There was laws passed that wouldn't let us speak our own language, wouldn't let us worship 7 days a week. So we started adapting to settlers' ways. We started farming like them, going to school like them, and pretty soon, nobody knew anything about us anymore. It was against the law to have powwows, so we just learned and taught each other.
My goal was to meet some of these women who have worked so hard to keep the native traditions alive. I was lucky enough to meet up with the members of the Women of the Sacred River Drum Society.
We wanted something to bring all the women together so we could unite and share our culture together and sing and, do things. And so it was the next step in bringing everyone together. And what we found within, through the Faye, 2 months, we had like 800 members.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We want to unify everyone and really bring the songs and the ceremonies and the way it was back. We actually had a sister that was going through a very abusive time. I called Patricia. I said, go over to her house, baby. Just go there. And she went over there. She didn't have to say anything. She just went there and just sat. Just be. Yep. Because sometimes that support is worth its weight in gold. When you're going through hard times and you feel so heavy and so alone, all of our sisters raise us up.
It tells you the story, the creation story. This is what they call the tree of life, or tree of light. These are the orbs of light. It's the sky tree. And here's the sky dome. These are the thunders, like the clouds, and here's where Turtle Island is, which is like Pangea. And one of the gifts that were given was the corn, beans, and squash, the three sisters. So these are things that sustain us, and these two lines here show the separation of that world and the world below.
A lot of people may wear things that were passed down from generation to generation, or something was made especially for them. So it's just all part of who they are.
Yeah, we met some kids yesterday who were dressed in their regalia. They had specific colors and symbols that represented maybe people that had died. One lost
That's
a brother.
right. That's right.
And it represented in their honor an uncle that passed. So it was interesting to see that.
Yeah. That's also why each regalia you see is going to be so different, because each regalia represents something about that person. You're never going to see two that are exactly the same. This is really a representation of our grandmothers and everything that we do.
And you mentioned that you, in the society, you are now making the fabrics and dyeing them in the old style.
Yeah.
So this dress is literally a product of the society coming together and really doing that again.
Recently I started emceeing, and the important part of it is understanding and teaching our young girls that you can do anything, but also helping the young men understand that women do have a voice and should use it. It reinforces so much.
And that's across all cultures.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's just Native. That is across the board, women in general. So
well, it's up to us.
Yeah.
It's up to us to teach and to share and pass it on. There's a whole lot more that happens at powwows than just singing and dancing. That's right. I mean, we network. There's so many business people. There's doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs, that come to powwows.
The elders were saying that the younger kids don't know a lot of their history, so going to these powwows, they're learning.
That's right.
As they're hearing the music, they're hearing the different northern and southern styles and the different dances, and they explain everything. For me, it's perfect because I don't know what's going on.
That's
it just looks beautiful to me, but to know the history of it.
I have two children, 25 and 15. I don't want to leave this earth without them knowing everything I can teach them. It's my job to do that.
Yeah, of course.
And the same thing with all the other children.
I've started teaching people more now than ever before, which is, to me, is a blessing, because the people that taught me said, pass it on, don't take it with you.
Yeah.
And so I consider it an honor when people say, I want you to teach me to do what you're doing.
It's with great pleasure and excitement that I say I'm so thankful we're still here, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that our seventh generation will know who we are.
I'm proud to be a Lumbee Indian. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Of course, the first foremost, our tribal flag of the great proud Lumbee tribe, right here in North Carolina, the 82nd Signal Airborne, Mr. Pat Locklear. And the flag of the United States of America.
After being here in Lumberton, I finally get to see everything that I've been hearing about the powwow and about Lumbee culture. And it's really coming to life right in front of my eyes, right behind me.
First division of the 504, Victor Ronald.
And here's two dresses. This is one I had made, and it kind of has the collar of the traditional one that you see now. And then this is, just
it's beautiful.
Just sort of a prairie dress.
Yeah.
And it crisscrosses in the back. Shell that I was telling you about.
Oh yeah.
It is from the Carolinas, and the shell's actually going away. The jeweler that I talked to, the artist, said that in about 5 years there'll be no more
No
shells.
more.
1, 2, 3.
I'm going to try an intertribal dress in full regalia. The thing about jumping into the circle is, even though everyone's dancing together, it's a very individual, meditative moment for each person. So I won't feel comfortable approaching someone to help me find out the rhythms of the dance. So I'm just going to have to jump in and figure it out. Let's try it.
The Lumbee people are known as the people of the pine. So what the women of our tribe were doing was trying to find a dress that when we stepped out into the powwow arena, we would be known by that dress. And so they came up with the pine cone patchwork dress.
And because now powwows are pan-Indian tribes, so you can have people from all over the United States, Canada, from South America, they've said it's, so you know distinctly from this beautiful regalia that
you are Lumbee.
You are Lumbee.
After I tried a bit of the intertribal dance, open to all participants at the powwow, I wanted to have some one-on-one time with a few of the dancers in the arena. But before I found my dancers, I was going to get a little more authentic with my regalia.
I love it.
Thank you.
How much is this one?
Nothing.
Oh, no. No, please. No, really, I want to buy something. Please, I want to honor this and buy it.
It's yours. It's yours.
Really? Oh, my God.
No.
Thank you.
Yours.
I've been crying this entire powwow so far. The people here have been so generous and wonderful. Yeah.
You okay?
I'm good. Let's go dance. I want to go dance and celebrate. So you're going to show me some of the traditional dance, but it's northern traditional.
Northern traditional.
Right.
Southern traditional is the gentleman's dance.
Gentleman's
they
dance.
don't wear as many feathers, and it's a lot slower.
All right, so how are we going to do this? I'm going to follow
like
you.
a two-step.
Two-step.
When you're here to beat,
So you're constantly moving all your limbs. Now what is going down? What does that represent?
the northern traditional dancer is a warrior. So we're like looking for tracks, or looking for other warriors.
All right, let's try this. I'm going to follow you.
You gotta stay on beat. And the best way to do that is to know the song.
Yeah. Which I'm learning. You're telling a story, right?
Yeah.
Now, what story were you conveying? Hunting. All right. So I see it. You're like stalking a prey.
Yeah.
On this next dance, I'm gonna try and find some footprints of my own.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I ain't
stalk.
go hard this time.
I'm gonna stalk my prey.
You're usually going to have a band, whether you're old school or contemporary. Right now, I'm an old school dancer,
Okay.
so I have my shawl in my hand.
Okay.
And usually I have my hand on the side.
Hand on the side.
Or like this, but you start on your tippy toes, and I say about 5 seconds to get ready. And then you do a tippy toe dance.
Tippy toe dance, yeah.
Yeah, your heels don't touch the ground, and you never go in a full circle. And it's always real point and elegant, but you want to be smooth.
Smooth,
not
right.
too choppy.
Right.
This dance is called a medicine dance. It's a healing dance, and it's used still today. Someone's sick, they bring out all the jingle dancers, and we all dance. And when we're out there dancing, we're praying for that sick person.
I can just imagine so many women doing this together. Just the energy in the room and the space. Yeah.
Ms. Mabel, one of the many new friends I made here at the powwow, gifted me with a sacred tobacco prayer tie as a blessing.
And it means the prayer and healing and respect, and it will protect you too. It's a protection.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. What are you feeling? What's going through your body and your mind?
We were taught at a young age, when you deliver these songs, you're supposed to pray. Every song you sing is a prayer. That's what we do as singers. We come out here, we sing for the people. We're prayer warriors for the people. We come here, we sing. And we don't just sing here at powwows, we sing at ceremony and everything else. We go around, we sing for the people. Because in singing for the people, we're praying for the people. We're trying to heal the people.
Well, there's a lot of healing going on this weekend. It's beautiful. Just dancing with you all, it's very open. There's this energy, this positive energy, and this constant sort of sense of community and friendship. I see you're doing a little bit of like this, and you're always on your toes?
Yes.
Okay.
For the most part. Only ones that dance flat-footed are like the men, and then women's traditional.
I'm just following.
Yeah, I just go. Like, I don't...
Yeah, okay, let's do it again. I'll keep following you. Okay.
You gotta keep your arms out, open, like a butterfly.
Yeah. You see the elders helping the younger generations. You see all spectrums of families being here, and that's what's really emotional for me, and I think also for people that come here and see that there's this just wonderful sense of community and being together and sharing this wonderful dance and celebration together. It's overwhelming, really.
Dance has been a tradition of the Lumbee and other Native American tribes for generations. The power to overcome adversity and still maintain one culture with such hardships is what is the most impressive. And especially for the misunderstood Lumbee people, this challenge is tenfold. I was accepted into the community and was able to share something very sacred. With the true voices of the Lumbee all around me, I was able to see the culture, history, and beauty of these people. And I'll see you on my next Bare Feet adventure, wherever it may take me. You can stay connected with us on travelbarefeet.com, where you'll find extra bonus videos, join our Bare Feet series conversations through social media, and stay updated with our newsletter.
Bare Feet has been brought to you in part by
Dance Network, a streaming service devoted entirely to the art of dance from around the world. Available anytime at dancenetwork.tv and on your phone, tablet, and streaming devices. Dance Network is a proud sponsor of Bare Feet.